Hello everybody, it's time for episode 45 of my question and answer series. So going down to the bottom like always, starting with Jared71. So he is shaking his head at the Facebook phone. Well, it's actually called the HTC First, and the phone itself, it's obviously mid-range. It's priced at $100 on AT&T with a new contract or an upgrade. And I mean, the phone itself is really simple. It runs stock Android with Facebook Home on top of that. So if you're wanting a subsidized, decent, powerful phone, then that would actually be a good phone in and of itself. And of course, you can completely disable the Facebook Home feature, so you would be left with a completely stock Android experience, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, other than the Facebook stuff that the HTC First comes with, I think that it's a pretty decent phone. From CGP Design, GTX Titan or GTX 690. So the Titan is good because it's future-proofed, as in you could get 4 of those things, put them together. For the 690, you could only get 2 of them. Now, 2 690s is still technically 4 GPUs, but the Titan in and of itself as a single GPU is still the fastest thing around. So, I mean, if you have the money to get one of those, I think that the Titan would be a little bit better of a value, especially if you plan on doubling those up in the future, or tripling them, or quadrupling them. From Christopher James Gray, apologies if I've asked this before, but are these PCs from Amazon good for gaming? So let me go ahead and copy this link. And amazon.co.uk. Get rid of the second /. So this uses an AMD processor, obviously, as well as AMD graphics. 8 GB of RAM, it's overclocked to 4 GHz, it looks like, obviously. USB 3, 1 TB hard drive. Let me go find the actual specs. And it doesn't seem as though, oh, here they are. Or not, oh, here they are. Okay, so we're using obviously an AMD processor. You know, what's the price? That's actually a decent price for this. You're not getting a powerful graphics card. There's no solid state drive. This is actually quite a low-end video card. So that's definitely not going to be too good for gaming. Let me go back to here. Now, to answer your question, no, this is not good for gaming at all. I mean, the 5450 is not a very fast graphics card, especially by today's standards. So for your money, I mean, just piece together your own build. Typically, they are cheaper if you build it yourself instead of getting it bundled together or put together like this. That's what I would do, and that's always what I've been recommending to people. From Edward Leonard, about that last question, which I don't remember what it was. I think there's a tool that lets the iPhone 4S and under restore to the same firmware, or something about SH blobs. What's the best water cooling system for a mid-sized tower, or should I just add more fans inside? It depends on what you're trying to cool. If you're trying to cool down your processor a little bit, I mean, Corsair's H series of all-in-one liquid cooling systems are pretty reliable. I mean, Corsair knows what they're doing. If you don't plan on overclocking, though, it's not really necessary. Just a simple Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus tower cooler heatsink is most likely enough. And from Christopher James Gray again, also, do you think that the PC in mention would be a good console replacement? Honestly, no, because that graphics card is really not that good. I mean, this is what, a 2 or 3 year old video card, so you're definitely going to want to get something with a better video card, or you could get this system and get a separate video card yourself. I'm not too sure about the power supply that comes with this system because it doesn't mention any of that, so I'm not too sure if the power supply that comes with this can even power a higher end graphics card, but it's really not that good. From Seam, in your opinion, how significant is the difference between the 4S and 5? Would you pay like $200 or $300 more for a 5 unsubsidized? The 16 by 9 screen, well, technically it's not exactly 16 by 9, but it's close enough, and that is really good for watching videos, so that's one good feature. I like the lightning port because it's much smaller and more compact than the 30-pin lightning connector. The camera's a little bit better than the 4S. Speed, I've never had a 4S, I had a 4. In terms of design though, they're exactly the same. In terms of speed, I'm not too sure because, at least coming from my 4, it was a huge difference, especially when it comes to gaming and of course loading applications. Is it worth it going to a 5 from a 4S? No, I don't think so, because the 4S is still a good phone. It's still plenty fast for most people. The camera is still excellent. So you're paying a lot more money just to get an iPhone 5, and there aren't enough differences between the two to actually justify that high of a price. From the brand Tech, is there a way I can hide my jailbreak tweaks in the settings? I know that there is a tweak, but I don't remember what it is called. I want the tweak, but it just takes up room in my settings app. Well, what you can do is use iFile to go to all the way to the root of your device, go to Library, Mobile Substrate, and rename the preference loader.dylib file. So you could just add .disable to the end of that name if you want, and that will go ahead and disable the tweak that actually loads all of those things into the settings app so that they don't actually show up anymore. From Megan Farr, what do you think about the Kindle Fire HD? I mean, it's a decent tablet for the price. Things are progressively changing very quickly. Would I install a custom launcher and root? Well, I would probably just install some sort of stock Android ROM onto it. I don't need any custom launcher. I just want the stock Android experience. From Megan Farr, what do you think about Facebook Home? I mentioned that earlier. Well, Facebook Home itself, I'm not much of a Facebook user, so it doesn't interest me whatsoever. And what do you think of console gaming like the PS3? I prefer PC gaming. It's just more versatile. The experience is better because you have better hardware. You can just be more immersed in the gaming experience itself. Plus, you could always do more stuff with your PC. Edit videos, browse the web, run Flash games and videos, everything else that you could think of that the PlayStation just simply cannot do. From Alphi Days, 5 pros and 5 cons of Android. Well, okay, pros... It's open out of the box. It's great to customize. It's a good alternative to iOS. I just don't think that Windows Phone is there yet. And I don't know, I think that might be it. In terms of cons, it sucks not to have the latest version of Android, so you might have to wait months, or possibly you might never get the update. Sometimes performance varies depending on the device. Like the Asus TF300T tablet that I had, it had a Tegra 3 processor, but it was actually pretty damn slow, and it just wasn't a good usable experience. I'm not really sure what else to say. If you gave me 3 pros and 3 cons, I think that would be a little bit better, but 5, I can't really think of too many. Back to the cons though, the application quality of the apps in the Google Play Store are just really ugly. It's just like some developer just slopped together an application and uploaded it to the store without really putting too much thought into the design and functionality of most applications. Also, would you rather use Windows XP or Windows Vista? I would rather use Windows Vista because, I mean, I bought Windows Vista the day it came out from the store, and I enjoy it. I like its new interface, I like the new sounds, I just like the way it works, so Vista would definitely be my choice. Alphi Days, headphones for under $15. Wow. I don't know. I think most people look towards maybe $30 or $40 for a budget pair of headphones. If that's what you were doing, I would recommend the RHA MA350 earbuds. I actually have that review coming up tomorrow, Thursday. I mean, when it comes to headphones, you really don't want to have too crappy of audio, so it would be recommended to spend at least $30, and that should get you better audio quality across the board. From Corollos iHelp 101, will you get Facebook Home? No, because I don't have an Android device that I could use as my personal device, really. From the brand Tech, how can I clean up my notification center like yours? All you have to do is install IntelliScreen X, and that will keep everything very organized. The last question comes from Corollos iHelp 101. What do you think of Google OS? Well, I think you're referring to Google Chrome OS that is running on their Chromebooks. I really don't see any point in it. I mean, if people are strictly on a budget and don't want to spend too much money, I mean, for the same price, you could actually get an Intel or AMD based laptop, I mean, in the $300 range, and it does much more than a Chromebook. So there are times where you just really need to do something that's not available in your web browser. So it really just makes sense to spend just a little bit more money and get a laptop that comes with Windows or even Linux, because Linux in and of itself can do much more than Chrome OS. So that's what I think. I just don't really see the point, really. That's it with episode 45 of the question and answer series. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback about this or anything else, feel free to leave those down below in the comments area. And that's it. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you all very soon.